picked a bucket of peppers this morning and thought I'd do a quick little video about how we freeze our peppers. Now, there's a couple different varieties here. First one is a banana pepper. It's a sweet banana pepper, and you have to start out by washing them all off. And then I got some of these Emerald Giants. These are a bigger a stuffing pepper that we freeze. So same thing here. Just wash them all off and get them ready to get ready for the freezer. And then these little Decuno peppers. These are a great little Italian stuffing pepper. They're small pepper with a thick wall that are just amazing for stuffing. And then the Anaheims, and these we freeze them up and we use them in pots of chili during the winter. So pretty much I wash them all up and get them a little dried off there and get ready to start preparing them how we freeze them. Now we handle each one just slightly different, but basically the same. So the first thing is these Anaheims. I'm gonna just cut them in half and get them open and scrape out all the seeds that I can. And I try to cut those little ribs out of them also while I'm at it. They can have a little bit of a bitter taste to them. So we like to use these in pots of chili over the winter. So pretty much I slice them up into slices like you see there. And after cleaning them all out, I just, cut them into a little bit smaller slices and spread them out one layer thick on cookie sheets. We found out in the past that it seems best to pre-freeze these really fast in one layer thick in the freezer before putting them in the bags. So what we do is we just spread them on cookie sheets, and now these are going to go down in the freezer. And at the same time, when I get a couple minutes, I start making up some of the bags, because with the Food Saver, it does take some time if you don't buy the pre-made bags. I usually just buy the rolls of the bag material, and you can get them on Amazon pretty cheap, or I buy big packs of them at Costco too. So you just put your roll in and cut off how much you need there, and then you got to put it in the machine and actually seal one end of them before you can use them as a bag. So it's a real slow process with this machine. It can only, it takes a long time to seal, and then between bags, it has a long wait time too to cool back down before you can cycle it again. So this is a good thing to, do a couple at a time and just kind of size up each pepper as you do it and see how many bags you think you're going to need. Now the little stuffing peppers, I like to just take a grapefruit spoon and use that to take the tops out of them. You can freeze these. You can stuff them first and freeze them stuffed if you want. But we find out that we never know what stuffing we're going to want, because my wife makes a couple different ones. So we just like to, clean them out, core them out like that, and freeze them whole, ready to go. And they do freeze up really nice, and you take them out and stuff them, and they do hold together real good. So this is a real nice pepper for stuffing and freezing. Really great flavor. So there they are, all ready to go down in the freezer. And like I said, we flash freeze all our peppers first, and then we put them in the bags later. We've had much better luck. And then these are the some of the bigger stuffing peppers, and I just cut the core out of them, and then you got to use the grapefruit spoon to dig out the ribs there so you don't hurt the pepper. Now some people just cut them off, but I like to have that little bit of the top to hold it together. So it's just a matter of getting the core out there and then taking that spoon and just kind of scraping everything loose and shaking it upside down to get all the seeds out, and they're all ready to be thrown in the freezer. And then I got the banana peppers last, and these we just kind of use as a frying pepper in the winter. You can throw them into steak and peppers or something like that. So pretty much the same thing as the Anaheims. We just clean them up, core them out and try to get some of that little rib out of there because, I think that's got an off taste. And, same thing, just cut them up and try to get them in a layer on a cookie sheet. Yeah, I got them a little bit double stacked here, but they'll freeze okay. So everything goes in the freezer for a couple hours and, gets frozen real solid. And now it's time to bag them up. These are the Anaheims, and I like to make the bags just the exact size for one pot of chili. We find that we really love these things in our homemade chili in the winter. They add a little bit of heat. They're not really hot, but they add a lot of great flavor, and no other pepper can be used in chili without ruining the flavor. So we just put these in bags just the right size for a quick pot of chili in the winter. And these are a little bit smaller packages here. So it's just a matter of making up the bags, filling the bags, and then going back and sealing them. And like I said before, this machine is slow and does take a pretty long time to seal the bags up. But we've tried Ziploc bags, we've tried freezer containers, we've tried everything else, and anything else if peppers get freezer burned in. With these bags, for some reason, we have never had a problem. And when you put the bags in, there's also like a waffle side that you have to put to the bottom when you're putting it in the machine here to seal it. You can see there where the machine was blinking because it needed a little rest period between bags. So once we get them all vacuum packed, we just label them and put them in the freezer and, write in a book exactly what we have there. Then these little stuffing peppers, I use the little bit bigger bags, and I'm going to make them up in a pack that's, just big enough for a batch of stuffed peppers for the two of us. So we try to size the bags to, what we'll use for just like one cooking up one batch of whatever it is. So same thing, but this time I use a pulse vacuum with these things because you have to be careful. If you just let it pull the vacuum down, it will actually pull it so good that it will shatter them like glass almost, and break them and crack them and stuff. So with this one you just use the pulse vacuum, and I just like to pull it down until just about all the air is out of them, and then hit the seal button. Yeah, this it is a time-consuming process, but we've had our best luck using these food saver type bags and stuff like that. We never get any freezer burn since we started using them. So, and in the long run, I think the machine does cost a little bit, but I think in the long run it's cheaper than buying the Ziploc type bags that we had used years ago. They were quite expensive to get the good ones. But there it is. I pulse vacuum these down and then seal them, and they're ready to go in the freezer now too. And then I got the big ones here, and actually there's one kind of ugly one there I didn't want to freeze, so I made the bag up a little bit smaller, but I didn't think about it till I had them all in there. But just wanted to put 4 of them in a bag. It's like my wife would stuff them up in a batch of 4, and so same thing. Use the pulse vacuum on these because you can actually destroy them if you just let the machine pull it down. And we use, my wife makes like a rice type stuffing, or she makes a meat type stuffing, or she makes several different like cheese type stuffings and stuff. So we feel it's better off not to stuff them before freezing them, but they can also be stuffed before freezing and just taken out and put in the oven also. And then the banana peppers, we just use them up like a frying pepper. So I just throw them in bags with a big enough batch for one frying pan with some steak or something like that. So they go they're a little bit bigger batches than the chili peppers. Same thing, just seal them up. So I just thought I would just kind of share how we freeze the peppers. And I've got a ton more peppers in the garden to pick. I just can't believe how many we've gotten this year. It's just been an amazing year for peppers. But I just thought I'd share this just to show you, exactly what we do and how we freeze each of the different types, and how we find that pre-freezing them, when they're in a single layer, really does make them be a better product when you, take them out and defrost them. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.